Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me. Now, I found these back in my stash, and I must have put them in a paper pack or something after I received them. I received them from one of you guys, and I think it was Pam. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I think she sent me these. She already put the score tape on them and everything. And I had lots of people who saw these when I opened them on Happy Mail that asked me to give them the measurements on this or make them a copy of this or whatever. Now, Pam made these, and I'm going to say Pam, but if it's somebody else, I apologize. Let me know in the comments below if you sent these to me. She made these herself, I guess, and I can't copy them. She didn't give me permission to copy them. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to make one together, and I've got my own measurements. I didn't go by this. I just kind of looked at it and then pulled up my own measurements. So I'm not exactly copying her, but yet then again I am. But there's two different sizes she's got here. Now we're just going to make one size, and then I will make it into a digital so that you can go over and print it off and make your own, as many as you want. These make really good little storage containers, or what we're going to do is we're going to make a little container that we will sit on the maybe Thanksgiving table beside the plates, or even in the center of the plates, and have some little goodies in it for our guests. Now I know a lot of us are not going to be able to have guests because of the unmentionable, but this is just going to be something that you can make to dress up your table. You could also make these for Christmas if you're having a my mind just went blank. If you're having those little sales and things in your town, you can make these to sell in the little hobby fairs and that kind of thing if you wanted to. But I'm gonna show you how to make one. Then, like I said, I will make you a template, and I'll put it on the blog, and you can go over and print that template off for free. Alright, so you're going to need a piece of cardstock. Now, make sure that it's kind of a heavy cardstock. It doesn't have to be too heavy, but just a good heavy one, not a real flimsy one. 7.5 by 9 3/4. So this is 7.5 by 9 3/4. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to grab your scoreboard, and if you hear a lawnmower running, that's my husband. It's 70 degrees, and it's last of November, and he's out mowing grass. I don't think there's any grass out there to mow, but he's out mowing anyway. 7.5 by 9 3/4. So on the 7.5 inch side, you need to score at 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and at 5 1/4. And then you're going to turn it 1/2 turn, and you're going to score at 2 1/2. Oops, don't let it slip. At 2 1/2 and at 7 1/4. Now, hopefully this is going to satisfy some of those people who have been leaving me comments saying that they want to see more 3D projects. I stopped doing some 3D projects when I started doing a lot of journaling, just simply because I had them stockpiled over here, and I didn't have any other places to put my 3D projects, and I didn't want to throw them away, and to ship them to you guys would be so expensive that I just couldn't do that, because you would want to ship them in something where they wouldn't get crushed, so it would just be outrageous. So that's one of the reasons that I stopped doing some 3D projects for a while. I was getting stockpiled with them, and I didn't need any more. Okay, so you've got those score lines done. Go ahead and fold and burnish your score lines. Okay, now once you get that done, what you're going to do is you're going to have the 9 3/4 part this way, running long ways, and you're going to have the 7 1/2 running across this way. So you're going to cut up on these score lines right here, but you're not going to cut on the score line. You're going to cut about 1/2 inch outside the score line. I'll show you like that. See, there's my score line, and I'm cutting about 1/2 inch out. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. If you want it to be straight, you can measure yours. I didn't. That's just where you're going to put it together at. Then you're going to turn it, and on this one, you're going to cut all the way in. Then you're going to notch out that little bit right there. And you're going to notch out a little bit up here, like that. Now on these pieces, you need to cut that score line completely out so that it goes together well. You're going to come on this side and you're going to do the same thing. So cut down to that score line about a 1/2 inch out from here. See there? And then turn it. You're going to cut down on this one. And then you're just going to wedge out right here and right here. Craft fair, that's what I was trying to think of a while ago. Craft fairs. There we go. You're going to flip it all the way around to the other end, and we're going to do the same thing down here. So come out about a 1/2 inch, cut down, turn it to the other side, and then just wedge out right there, and wedge out right there. And over here, we're going to do the same thing. Just like that. So let me move these scraps and I'll show you what we have. Okay, so that's what you have right there. These little pieces fold up. That's what we're going to put the box together with. Now, before we put the box together, I want to reinforce mine, because if you don't reinforce it, it's going to be easy to collapse. And I like to reinforce. You can either use chipboard or you can use some cereal boxes. Anything that's, you know, a little bit sturdy, you can use on this to reinforce it. And all you need to do is measure from here to here, just between the score lines, and then cut your piece of chipboard just a little bit smaller. Now, I'll tell you the size of mine, but it's just going to depend what size you make your box. This one is 4.5 by 2 7/8, and it goes on the bottom. And I'm just using art glitter glue because I know it'll hold it down. Plus it gives me just a little bit of wiggle room. Now just make sure that you put it between all of your score lines. Don't put it on a score line. Don't worry about any glue going anywhere. That's fine. That's not going to be seen. Now you've got some side pieces that we've cut. And your side pieces are cut at, this is 2 inches by 4.5 inches. And if you cut it a little shy, a little over, and it's a little bit too big, just trim it down. Oh, I need to lay that aside. Before you put your side pieces down, you need to go ahead and glue your box. Before you put your chipboard in here, go ahead and glue your box together. So we're just going to put some glue right there. And you're going to hold that up, pull it together just like that. Okay, now on this end right here, this is the end that's, you see it's a little bit taller than this one. It's a little bit taller, it sticks up. We're going to cut a little oval out there first before we put that one together. So I'm just going to measure and find out where the center is on this. That'll just help me try to get that in the middle. Okay. Then I'm just going to take my oval punch, put it in there. And like I said, I'm going to try to get that pretty even punched right there. And you can see that's what we have. Alright, we can go ahead and put this side together. Now, if you do the measurements like I did, you'll have one end of this that perfectly fits right here. your edges, and then you'll have the other end that's a little bit taller. That's the end that you want to cut your little oval out of, or your little circle. It doesn't have to be an oval. Okay, then we can put this one up. And just make sure to match your corners. Just like that. Okay, you see we've got the front's just a little bit taller than the back. Now if you don't want this to be taller, just trim it off. It doesn't have to be. I just made it this way to just for the looks of it. Now I am going to trim these down just a little bit more, just so that they'll go right into that edge there. See? This one goes into the edge, so that one's fine. Alright, now like I said, if you want this the same height, you can just trim this off right here. Mine just happens to be a little bit taller, and that's fine. Now we're going to put our glue on here, and we'll just put this down in the side. Okay, got that in. I'm going to dry fit this one, make sure that it's right, and it looks like it is. Now, I didn't measure these side ones for you, so let me do that real quick. Like I said, you can do yours whatever, you can do your box whatever size you want, but so the side ones are 4.5 by 2. And then the end pieces, this one down here, of course, is going to be shorter than the other. I'll make sure that that fits before. Yes, that looks like it fits. So this one is 1 7/8 inches by 2 7/8 inches. Then I'm just going to slide that right down in there. Okay, so there's that one. So you can't bring it up too high because your little oval there. And then the one on the end down here, let's make sure that it's the right size. Looks like it's a little bit tall, so we're going to trim it off. If I can find, let's see, let's just do my trimmer. I was just going to do my scissors, but nope, that's how I hurt my thumb in the first place, so let's do this. Let's do our trimmer. And this is a guillotine trimmer, and it's by Slimline. I know you can't see all of it, but I'll try to link it below. It cuts chipboard really well. Okay, that will work right there. Whoops. Throw it around. Let's slide that down in there. Okay, so now you have the inside of your box, and this is nice and sturdy now. Alright, we've cut some pieces to cover the insides because we want to cover the chipboard. The side pieces are 2 1/8 by 4 1/2. So we're going to put them on each side. Oh, and I didn't cut one for the bottom. I need to do that too. But we'll put these down first. Okay. Now the back piece, or this piece back here, that's what I'm going to call the back. It is 2 3/4 by 2 1/8. Now right at the top of where your chipboard ends and where your paper, this paper is, just go ahead and press that down to make that a nice firm edge so that you don't see that chipboard down in there. That's why I made my paper just a little bit taller than the chipboard. So it's like you're kind of folding it over the chipboard. There you go. Then this piece down here is going to be a little bit shorter, of course. This one is 1 7/8 by 2 3/4. Okay, there we go. Now, the inside's covered, we just need to cover the bottom. So let's see. We're going to cut that at just shy of 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So let's cut that piece. Four and a quarter. Two and 3/4. That don't look right. I don't think that is right. Let's see. No, I guess it is right. It looked off a little. Okay, let's put this down in there. Now these measurements will not be written up anywhere, so you'll just have to pause the video and write them down. Well, that is short. Dad, darn it. Look at there. I don't think I cut it. Let's see what I cut it. I cut it at 4 for some weird reason. Alright, so we're just going to put... I'm just going to grab another piece and put it down in there. I have no clue why I did that. And I'll tell you the correct measurement in just a minute. I keep cutting that the wrong way. Okay, let's just... Now I'm just going to lay this down in there. It's going to be fine. This is going to be mine, so if I was doing it for somebody else, I would take that piece out or put another piece in there, but it's just going to be mine. All right. So this piece in the bottom should be 4 5/8. 4 5/8 by 2 3/4. So 4 5/8. I did not cut it long enough, but that's going to be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. If I wanted to, I could just cut another piece, you know, the length of it, and put it in there. But like I said, this is going to be mine, and I'm going to have goodies in there anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, we need to cut the paper for the outside. So I'm going to lay all those over there. Let's see what paper we want to use. Let's just use this. I think that'll be pretty. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty. Now I'm going to mark mine on here, and then I'll tell you what size I'm cutting. That makes it a little bit easier for me. I really don't like to measure. I will, but I don't like to. This is, let's see, what paper pad is this? This is Fall is in the Air is the name of this. Okay. Let me find my marks and I'll tell you exactly what size this is. This is just over 4.5, so you could cut it 4.5 and it would be fine. So 4.5 by 2.25. Okay, so there are our two sides. Then we just need to measure here, and I'm just going to run mine right up to right below where I cut that. So I'm going to run it. I'm going to cut it 1 7/8 by 2 7/8. So what is this? That's not wide enough. 1 7/8. 1 7/8. Oops. So 1 7/8. That comes up a little bit high, so I'm just going to trim it off just a tiny bit. So I'm making it, well, I cut it a little bit long, so it is 1 7/8 by 2 7/8. That's going to be this little end piece right here. And then the other one will be 2 1/8 by 2 7/8. 2 1/8. Okay, I think this piece right here is going to work. 2 1/8. By 2 7/8. Yes. Okay, 2 1/8 by 2 7/8. All right, let's glue these on. Now I'm going to use this side of the paper. Now mine comes all the way up and all the way down. I don't have any of that brown showing. So I think I'm going to trim it off just a tiny bit, because I want just a little bit of that brown showing. So I'm just going to trim it off just a little, not much. A lot of this is how you put your box together, but you know, just try it up against it before you start gluing and see if you might want it a little bit narrower. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah, I like that better. I've got a little of that brown showing. So let me tell you what size they are again. This is 2 1/8 by 4 1/2. So 2 1/8 by 4 1/2. That's going to be the side pieces. Yeah, that looks better with a little bit of that brown showing. Okay, let's make sure that this one fits. If it doesn't, we're going to need to trim that off a little bit too. So 2 1/8 would be about right there. Yep, that works. And this is just kind of the way that I do mine. You know, I don't go by a lot of different measurements from people. If I want to make something, I just make it, and then I start laying my pieces up there and see if they're going to fit. If they don't, then I trim them down. It's just trial and error. Okay, we're going to put that piece right there. Now, if you're not interested in 3D pieces, like a lot of people are not, then stick around because we're going to make a little journal to go on the inside of this. That way, if anyone wants to, I hope I put that right up. Yeah, I did. If anyone wants to document their Thanksgiving, everything that happened at Thanksgiving, they can. They'll have a little journal to do that with. Now, I'm not going to cover the bottom of mine. A lot of people do, but I'm not. Okay, so there is our little box. Isn't that cute? I don't mind this at all. If that bothers you, like I said, you can always trim that off. I kind of like that. It lets me know this is the front. Now, I am going to put something on the front, and I'm going to use the sticker sheet. This is from Fall is in the Air as well. So what shall we put on the front? And anything that I put, I'm probably going to have to put some little something under it. I don't know. I might can put that on there. Yeah, let's just put that on there. It covers the paper mainly, but I like that. I like that. Okay, we got that done. Now you can set that aside. Now you're going to need a little envelope. And this envelope is, if I'm not mistaken, this is just an A2 size envelope. Well, it's 5 3/4 by 4 3/8. I will link these below. They're the nice thick craft envelopes that I got a while ago, and I get mine off of Amazon. They're not very expensive. You can get a bunch of them for a little or nothing. So go ahead and glue your flap down, just like that. Then we're going to cut the top of that open. So just a little sliver off of that. Just like that. Make sure I went straight enough. And then you're going to fold it in half. Now these are really thick. You could use just a junk mail envelope if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to use these. I just like these because they're nice and thick. I'm going to trim that right there. Okay. So now you have 2 pockets, one here and one here. We're going to glue the remainder of this flap down right here. So just lift that up. Well, if you can get a hold of it, lift it up. And then put some glue right there and press that down. Okay. So then you have a pocket over here and a pocket over here. Now, you can glue down through here if you want to. I'm going to stitch, but you can glue. It doesn't matter, whichever one you want to do. I'm just going to stitch mine real quick because it's fast. So that right there is all I did. Just put a little stitch down the middle of it. But you can just open it up and stick some glue down in there. It doesn't matter. Alright. You don't really have to put any glue down in there either. I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and that probably will be enough what you need. And you can see I went kind of crooked, but I don't care. Not a biggie. Okay, now we are going to cover the outside of this. Now I want to leave a little bit of my brown showing. So I'm going to cut it right there. And I'll tell you what size this is, what size I'm cutting everything. See if that works. I'm going to trim it off just a tiny bit. I want a little of that craft showing around it. There we go. So this piece is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Let's see if we have enough of this one. 2 3/4, just barely. 4 1/4. I'm just going to cut a tiny bit. Here we go. So that is the outside of ours. Now we're just going to cut some pieces for the inside. And I think I'm just going to cut some of this. I think so. And I won't be able to cut it with that. No, let's just cut this. Then we can cut it with this little trimmer. The inside's going to be the same size. Ooh, I hope this is going to be long enough. And I don't think it will. Nope, that's not going to be long enough, so never mind about that. So let's grab the big trimmer back up. And we're going to go two 3/4 right there. Oh, did you watch me? Did you watch me cut that the wrong way? Good thing I can use those. 4 1/4. Now 2 3/4. See if that looks right. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna take this one down just a tiny bit. Doesn't have to be, but I just don't want anything to interfere with the fold. So I'm gonna cut them down just shy of 2 3/4. So just a sliver off of them. You can see, just a tiny little sliver. All right, now let's glue these down. So I'm going to glue these on the outside. The reason being is I want to decorate on the outside of this. This is going to be our little mini journal. And like I said, you can do this with Christmas paper. You can do it with your E-Club kit. A lot of you get the E-Club kit and want ideas. This is a cute little project to do with your E-Club kit. It's just the right size. I don't particularly, I didn't get to keep an E-Club kit this time. They all sold out before I could grab one, so I don't have one. But I'm just showing you, you can use the paper that you got in your E-Club kit to do this. You do not have to have this same paper that I do. And I think the paper with the E-Club kit was Christmas paper. Pretty sure. There we go. And then we'll put our paper on the back side. There you go. So there is our little booklet. Now we need to put some paper in here and then make some tags for up here. Now you can cut your little oval out here if you want to. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to make my tag and then put a little pull at the top that's going to stick out, so you don't have to do that. But you can if you want to. Now I just used some of my scrap dyed paper here. Looks like I'm going to have to trim it off just a tiny bit. So I'll tell you what size it is once we trim it. All right, let's see if that fits. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, these little pages, and I've only got 3 in here. You don't need many. They're cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So somewhere around in that size. You can make them a little bit shorter if you don't want to do the 8s. But that's what we're going to do right there. Now let me make sure I got all my paper the right way up. And I do. Now I'm going to stitch this in. But I'm going to use some baker's twine. Let me grab that. Okay, this baker's twine is called Marigold, and I'm going to use some of it. Okay, so there we've got that. Center your little pieces up, and you can clip them if you want to. Now I'm going to use my little, you can use a little, just a little hole punch. I'm just going to use this little thing, a little book awl. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to punch one hole, and you're going to come in from the outside. You're going to go all the way around your little book, and then you're going to go back down through here like that. So back down through the center. So that's how it's going to hold in there. And then these pieces are going to wrap around to tie. So let me make sure now that I have got enough to wrap around there and tie. Yes, I do. Okay. That's why I don't cut it off, because if you don't cut it off, you can always adjust. But if you cut it off, then you have to start all over again. So see, these are going to wrap around like this. And you could wrap double around if you want to, just leave your string longer. It's going to wrap around like that and then tie in a little bow like that. Okay, but we're not going to do the tying right now because we want to decorate this front. So let's put, what can we put on here? Oh, I just love this little bear. I love bears. Look at that. That is cute as it can be. And if we put it up top, like that, then down here at the bottom, I can put, and I'm just going to put our family. I'm going to cut that tradition off. I don't really have enough room for that. Glue it back down. This is from the sticker sheet from that collection. Oops, there we go. Our family. I don't know why, I just think bears are so cute. I know they're so mean, and well, they're not mean, but I know they can be very dangerous, but I just think they're so cute. I've always loved bears and koala bears. Look at that. Is that not cute? Oh, I like that. Now, I was going to put a little piece of lace or something here, but I've already got my spine piece in here. Now, let me tell you something else that you need to do here too. You need to make sure that your strings are on both sides of that string that comes down the middle, and then you need to tie that so that all of this is held together pretty well. Just tie it in a double knot. Okay, then you're ready to go, and then it doesn't loosen up when you take the when you untie it. All right, what are we going to do? Am I going to put a little, let me see if I have a, oops, I just dropped something else. See if I have a little piece of lace that will work on here. I'd like to have a little thin piece. Oh, I don't think I have enough of this one left. Oh, yes, I do. I do. I thought I didn't have enough of this one left, but I do. Oh, that'll be cute right there. Yeah, we're going to put that right down through there. And you can cover your spine before you put your tie around there if you want. I just forgot all about it. I got so excited about putting my little bear on the front. I was thinking about him. Let's see. This side's the front, I think. Now I'm just gonna put that like that. Trim this end off. Cute. As cute as can be. I like that. Okay. Then on the inside right here, I think I'm going to put just a little piece of lace across there that we can use for a little pocket. I don't really want to cover my paper up. So I think we'll just put that across maybe. Do I have anything a little bit thicker? I'm just looking in my scrap lace right now. We might could put this across there. Let's just put a piece of this across. Now, while I'm doing this, I want to tell you our sister site, which is Lighthouse Stop and Shop, and it's run by one of our admins, Cindy Rozak. She is having a fantastic sale on trims and laces and all types of Christmas ephemera, things like that. So make sure that you go over and check it out. I will link that below. If you're not already a member, you can ask to join and Cindy will add you. But she's having, I grabbed a bunch of the lace last night myself. She's having a fantastic sale. It's bags and bags of lace, so that's what I always like. I like surprises. Get a bag of lace and get a surprise. Alright, I think that will work on there. Then we can make a little tag to go in here. So let's do a little tag. That should be okay. And then we need to make some tags to go in there too. See, I told you we'd get a journal out of this. One way or the other, we're going to get a journal. There we go, right there. Now, I'm going to round the corners on my tags just because they're kind of small, and I don't think we need to have them cut into a tag shape. Alright, so that's one. Then I think I will use some of this to make some other tags to go in the inside the little album. Well, I don't think it's going to be long enough. Let's see if we got any that's going to be long enough. That one will be long enough. We can use this side. So let's see if we've got another piece that we can use right here. I'm just looking for some scraps so I won't have to cut into another piece of paper. We'll just grab a piece of this. I think this will work. Okay, again, we're just going to round the corners. Now you could stitch around your tags, do lots of different things to them. I'm not going to do anything to mine right this minute, except put the top on them. But I will probably come back later and do some different things to mine. Okay, we need some paper to cut out some little pools at the top. Let's see, this piece should be big enough. Whoops. Okay, there's one. And then cut one out of this. Oh, yeah, we'll cut one out of this side. Started to say no because my little Guys, it's upside down, but let's see. We'll do this. Almost too little. Now, I will cover the back of this with some paper. But I think right now I'm just going to put my little tags on. Let's see if I've got any paper right here that would work. Yep, that paper will work. So we'll go ahead and do that. And this one. And this is just some scrap ink dyed paper. I couldn't think of the name of it there for a minute, but there we go. And then I need one more right here. So let's see. I know I had another scrap piece here somewhere. See if that'll work. Nope, too little. This one will work. And again, I'm just grabbing what's on my desk, so you can take a little bit more time with yours. Decorate it up pretty, and just wanted to show you how this is made. I've had lots of people who have questioned about those since they were sent to me in Happy Mail, and I have just been kind of putting it off for a while, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get a video done so that, and get a template up, so that they can see how they're made. Okay. And this is pretty, I mean, it's not thick, but it's thick enough. It'll work. Ugh. That's how my scissors get so sticky, because I don't wait for the glue to dry before I cut. Okay. So this little tag will sit down in there. And I think this is going to be too, I don't know, let me see. See if that's going to be too big for him. Well, it's going to fit, but it's going to be close. Really need a smaller one. But we're going to put this on there for now. Okay, so there is that little tag. We'll trim these out. Okay, let's put that on there, maybe. Let's see what we have. Let's put this one on here. Okay, and I think I want that one in the front like that. So see, it sticks out the top just a little bit. And then we'll put this one on here. And we'll put him in the back like that. Now we're ready to tie this little guy up. And you can watch me tie a bow. There we go. So there is the little booklet, and it will sit right down in there just like that. And it doesn't fall over. It's just the right size. So there's our little booklet. And then you can put all kinds of little goodies in here if you want to include some little candies and things. You could even put little color sheets in here for the kiddos and give these to the kids. And then they'd have some little color sheets and put some little crayons down in here. Or if you want to give these to the adults, you could put some hand sanitizer in here. Everybody needs that. And maybe some lip balm, something like that in there, and then give them this. You could even write them a note in their little journal. Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. And don't forget, that template will be over on our blog, and I will put that link directly below so you can go over and print it out, and then you can make these for yourself. We will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.